have some luck with roommates.
I know it.
So do I. Which is why I don't have them anymore.
Blog at Foreign Policy Magazine. Speaking to WNYC's Brian Lehrer earlier today, the line says...
So you do, you do the room with the pianists first, then you come back and shoot this room, and after you shoot this room, you got some stuff in that room that we can enjoy.
Okay.
So how many jobs you got?
Really just the one in Brighton Beach. I teach Pilates. I train private Pilates.
Here in New York, some good news, bad news about the real estate market. Like the rest of the country, the housing market saw disappointing sales at the end of last year. Data compiled by NYU's firm Center finds sales dropped nearly 33% citywide compared to 2009. Prices fell 9%. The only growth that saw 7 points was Manhattan, where prices rose from a year ago. As for commercial real estate, new construction projects in New York City jumped 15% last year. The increase came largely in the non-residential building sector, office buildings, hotels, power plants. Work at the World Trade Center, as well as the Barclays Arena at Brooklyn's Atlantic Yards and Madison Square Garden, accounted for a large share of the increase. This week, news that Wall Street bonuses for 2010 fell 9% to nearly $130,000. New York City officials continue their search for a partner to develop a top-notch science and research center, and thousands of public sector workers rallied in Trenton, New Jersey today to support Wisconsin public workers. We'll review this week's business and economic news with Greg David, director of the Business and Economics Reporting Program at the CUNY Graduate School of Journalism. Welcome back to the 411.
Thank you, Amy.
In response to regulatory changes, Wall Street firms are paying out less in cash bonuses, more in stock options and base salaries. What do you expect the effect will be on the city and the state?
Well, it's going to be severe on the city and state budget. You know, it's why we have such a severe state budget problem. You know, this is what we wanted. We don't want Wall Street to take big risks, right? Well, in 2007, there were $30 billion in cash bonuses and about $20 billion in profits. In the most recent year, there was $20 billion in cash bonuses on $27 billion in profits. You know, Wall Street is paying less overall as a percent of revenues. A lot of it's going to stock. That's good if you don't want them to take risks, but you can see the impact on the state budget. Wall Street accounted for 13% of state revenues in the most recent year. In 2007, 20%.
Isn't this a good thing? There's been a lot of talk that we rely too much on Wall Street. This will force the city and the state to find other ways to diversify their economies.
It's a very good thing if we can shrink the public sector to what we can afford, you know? If we lay teachers off, if we cut firemen's salaries, if we get solve the pension problem, yes. But if we don't do any of that, it's not a good thing. That's what this whole fight is about.
Speaking of diversifying, city officials have been on the hunt to bring in science and engineering school to New York City. Where do things stand with that process?
Well, Stanford says it wants to come. It told its faculty it's going to bid on this process. It wants to put a big postgraduate facility here. They've talked to Cornell. MIT's had some amount of money. This is crucial for the diversification we just talked about.
Say what in an email.
Don't get engineers in New York. And Columbia and NYU just haven't provided us with a first-class engineering school. You know, everyone talks about Google and the thousand employees from here. They're all bad people, I know. We got to get Google to have engineers here, and we need an engineering school to do it.
Quickly, the standoff in Wisconsin between the governor and public workers there over collective bargaining rights has gotten a lot of attention. Do you see this kind of fight playing out here in New York?
No, New York has 24% of its workers unionized, the highest in the country. But the private sector unions are under pressure this week. Construction companies went to workers and said we need work rule changes or there's going to be more non-union work in New York. Hotel workers are under pressure. We'll see fights, but nothing like Wisconsin.
Greg David, director of the Business and Economics Reporting Program at the CUNY Graduate School of Journalism. Thanks, and have a great weekend.
Same here.
Get the 411 as a podcast. Go to our website, wnyc.org, and leave us a comment there as well. Cloudy skies, breezy, 49 degrees, WNYC, New York. It's 4:36.
From NPR News, this is All Things Considered. I'm Robert Siegel.
And I'm Michelle Norris. In America's Corn Belt, farmers once considered $3 a bushel an excellent price. In more recent years, $3 corn is seen as the bottom price. In fact, it now costs more than $3 just to produce a bushel of corn. Over time, farmers have seen the price rise to $5, then $6, with similar leaps for soybeans and wheat. Those rising prices may put the fear of inflation into many consumers, but in places where wheat and corn are grown, high prices have been a godsend.
I went to one of those places last week, Nebraska. Economist Ernie Goss at Creighton University in Omaha sums things up this way.
If states were stocks, I'd be selling California and buying Nebraska, Iowa, South Dakota, North Dakota, and Kansas.
Now, of course, states aren't stocks. You can't buy shares of, say, the fertile plains of South Nebraska. But you can buy farmland, or as they say in Nebraska, you can buy ground. These days, with corn selling for over $6 a bushel, farmland in central Nebraska is also selling for whopping prices. Kelly Holtis is president of Cornerstone Bank in York, Nebraska.
Well, you're here on a good day. We had an auction, this particular piece of land, which is very good, one of our best farms, 160 acres, sold for $8,050 an acre. And this was 2,000, 2,500 acre land not too many years ago.
You know, people have pointed out that the last run of economic disasters was the Great Depression. Was terrible for agriculture, for farmers, and the 1980s recession was terrible for farmers. Where we've just come out of the Great Recession, farmers seem to have been among the winners here. They seem to have come away unscathed.
What recession?
Mayor Kelly Holtis.
So what part of town you live in? You told me about
I live in Fort Greene in Brooklyn.
That's a nice neighborhood.
It's a great neighborhood.
It's beautiful over there.
I love
I
it.
used to teach over that neighborhood a long time ago.
We're really close to Pratt and like Fort Greene Park.
Pratt.
On New Year's, Pratt rang the steam whistles. They do that every year at midnight, which I didn't know, and it was so cool. They're so loud and they vibrate your entire body when you're next to them.
Wow, yeah.
It's just awesome. It's a very visceral sort of physical experience. If you have earplugs in, it was just so loud. My boyfriend and I could have just stayed there and hung out, felt each other's hands and bodies vibrate forever, but it was so loud.
You talking about doing that West Indian Day Parade?
Say again?
Doing the West Indian Day Parade?
I've never been to that.
No,
I bet
what was the activity? New Year's?
New Year's, yep.
Oh, I did.
At midnight.
Now, the other thing, you gotta go through that door because they got a couple of paintings in there.
Okay.
Shiny corrugated steel grain storage bins that he bought 2 years ago. He used his earnings to increase his leverage in the market.
There's about 500,000 bushels of capacity that we can put in that facility at midnight.
How long have you been doing all this video stuff?
I just really like filming. I actually really like filming when people don't even know that I'm filming. I said I actually really like filming when people don't even know that I'm filming.
Oh, good. My kind of person.
You know, catch like candid stuff. I like that thing. I don't know. I just do it for my own pleasure more than anything.
All right, beautiful.
Some popcorn, that's his specialty crop. It's a different plant. He is 37.
I'm gonna go through the door.
Yes, when you go through that door, I think you put those paintings on the left.
Genetically engineered seed, tractors,
I think you put about 2 of them. 1 or 2. Thank you, my dear.
You are